Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice. We get on mandates. You get it on now. We're doing the news. Rudy Pavich is in studio. He's going to be doing the news with me. Later on in the second half, we're going live to the Funny Bone in Orlando. Michael Yo's up on stage for a while. Rudy pops up as well. We'll do some blah, blah, blog. Real funny show. So we got that coming. But first, we're going to do some news. Good to see you, Rudy.
You too, my friend. Great time in Florida, so excellent run. Yeah. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates said he regrets every minute he ever spent with Jeffrey Epstein, speaking out after the release of the Epstein files that included mentions of him. He told 9 News Australia in an interview posted Wednesday that it was foolish to have spent time with Epstein. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret, and I apologize I did that. He said he met Epstein in 2011.
First off, everyone regrets all the fun stuff afterward. Like, wow, man, we tied one on last night. I regret drinking those 17 beers.
Yeah, sorry, I put my dick out at the Queen. That was a bad move. But, well, I mean, regret it.
Yeah, regret.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fun. No one ever I stayed up all night. I did a fast and I hydrated and I stayed up all night studying. Like, people don't regret that. You regret the fun. Yeah. So everyone regrets fun. I don't know. Is Bill Gates a douche? Like, what's going on with him? Like, what was up with him and COVID and vaccines and all this walking around? Like, is some sort of expert on all things medicine and everything COVID and everything wrong? Like, I'm starting to not like that guy, is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you can revolutionize technology, but hey, man, keep some of that stuff to yourself if you're not, an expert in it. And then on top of it, the story that came out about him trying to get like STD medication for his wife and secretly lace it into her food so that she didn't know. He gave her like herpes or something. What a wild move to try to pull one on your wife.
You know what's weird? We judge sexuality by its cover, and we look at these guys, we look at these nerdy guys, and we go, oh, come on. But dudes are essentially, it'd be like saying that dog is ugly, it doesn't want to hump other dogs, or that dog's funny, or that dog's got 3 legs, it's not interested in sex with other dogs. So it's like, yes, it is.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like what you know to be a matinee idol star in a movie or whatever. When you see the Stephen Hawkings of the world, you go, well, he's not interested in pussy. But yes, he is.
Sure.
Maybe more so than guys. Maybe more so than George Clooney, he's a heaping helping.
Yeah, it's like
of it his whole life.
It's like French children in wine. George Clooney got a lot of tang when he was young.
That's right.
So it didn't matter. But Bill Gates probably didn't even touch a boob till he was well into his 20s.
Yeah, and you'll never really, that I can't throw away food.
Oh, I'm very well aware.
Very well aware. And the reason I can't throw away food is because I grew up in a food desert. Now, they talk about neighborhoods being fruit. My home was the desert of food. There was nothing. And I was always like, oh, come on, can we get some? And the idea of tossing away a piece of steak or any kind of food to me is unthinkable. Now, I'm old and I'm rich, but it doesn't matter. I am right back to an 11-year-old in North Hollywood, and the cupboards are bare, and I need my food. And I see people who grew up in the fucking Horn of Plenty, and they're just chucking stuff like all day. Like they don't even care.
Yeah.
I fish stuff out of the garbage after people chucked half their sandwich or whatever. So if you take the food analogy and you just bring it over to sex, that would make sense for a Bill Gates.
Sure. Yeah. And it's also the move of dudes. Not a lot of ladies, I feel like, are, Sherpa-ing Indian food all the way back from Tampa, Florida. because
women get grossed out. So they go, ooh, gross. Also, I've really not met women who will eat the same food 2 days in a row, which is like a weird ugly American thing, because if you're in India, you just eat Indian food. If you're in China, you just eat Chinese food. And every woman I know is pretty much like, oh, we did Chinese last night. We're not doing it 2 nights in a row. Like, they get a little that way.
Yeah.
Which my thing is, I'll eat Chinese food until the Chinese food is gone. Mm-hmm. And if that's 6 months, I'll do it. I don't care. But yes, so I can't throw away food. In Bill Gates, even though he's rich beyond belief, and this guy, he's still always, I think guys are always perpetually like 15 and a half when it comes to sex and attraction, and how the opposite sex looks at them and how they feel about the opposite sex. So makes sense. But anyway, he regrets spending tons of time with Epstein.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, he said that. Here's the thing about it, though, is that they said he had numerous dinners together, even after Epstein was convicted of sex crimes, and then denied ever having gone to Epstein's private island. But most of these emails are pretty damning, saying that he definitely spent some sort of time or had some sort of connection to the island.
Mm-hmm. Well, in terms of dinner with Epstein, I bet that guy's got some stories.
Sure.
I mean, you could do worse.
Yeah.
You could do my mom for dinner, and you just sit there and be like, Norma found a new bakery on the west side. They do a poppy muffin. No, John, is it a lemon? No. Oh, yeah, lemon poppy muffin. It's a poppy muffin that tastes like lemon. Oh. It's a lemon poppy. Norma says that they're on off of Fairfax.
Oh.
So if you're ever that way.
Yeah, Chris, I just got done spending time on an island with a bunch of other rich pedophiles. So, yeah.
They do a zucchini muffin as well. It's a I mean, it doesn't taste like, it almost tastes like pumpkin bread, but it's zucchini.
Yeah, we were using zucchinis on the island, too.
Norma says, I lost my train. John, it's Benish? What's the bakery called? That's literally every conversation I've ever had with my mom. We talk about muffins.
Yeah.
Guess who doesn't like muffins? This guy.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing to talk about something. First off, it's inert. It's just like, I don't know. But you can talk to anyone about muffins, I guess. There's really no hot muffin take, although they're hot muffins. But anyway, I'm just saying, dinner with Epstein.
Yeah.
Probably be a more interesting conversation than Chris Carolla.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the not waste and not freaking out about germs or how old things are. When we were in the green room last night, we had ordered up a little bit of shrimp and rice. And while you were on stage, I grabbed a fork and I grabbed a big old a big old pile of rice. I shoved it in my mouth. And the nice bouncer who was in the green room goes, "Ooh, I think that was Adam's fork."
Oh,
I was like,
well, please.
I was like, dude, I'm like, trust me, man, we are so far beyond.
I didn't even know whose fork was whose. There was just a fork. There's 2 forks. I interchanged with those forks. Yeah. I got to tell you, Rudy, we left a couple of pieces of kebab meat behind, and I was really struggling.
I could see it in you last night. Yeah, because you said we ain't leaving them behind. It was last chopper out of Saigon, and they were waving at us. Where are you boys going?
The whole thing was the layover in Atlanta. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna take this stuff. I'll put it in the merch bag. We'll do a layover. We're not doing a direct flight. And I was just like, You know what really broke me was we basically got back we did a late show, so we got back to the hotel at 1:00 and had to be down in the lobby at 4:45, and that's what kind of broke me of the doggy bag.
Yeah,
I was like, it's just one more.
It's one more thing we got to try to remember. Yeah. And then the thing about getting that layover too is, boy, we were both just hankering for a Bloody Mary. Oh. Man, it would have been nice. Why on a Sunday can you, especially a Sunday? I get a Tuesday. You don't start serving till 11. Hey, man, you guys are businessmen and women. You guys got to keep it on the straight and narrow. Why is it when I'm traveling and I'm trying to get back to my home on a Sunday, because everyone knows I'm starting the diet Monday, I just want a Bloody Mary regardless of what time at an airport?
Yeah, so they have all those places in the South. Okay, can we do this? Because I yelled about it at you, but I really mean this. You travel and you get a version of a sin law depending on where you are on Sunday. This happened in Texas to me a long time ago. This happened to us in Atlanta. We walk into the Centurion Lounge, you can get whatever drink you want for free, but they don't start serving till 11, and it's 8:45, and we're out of there. Whatever, fine. And then you go, well, in Atlanta, they do this. The second you get on the airplane, you can order a drink. So what is the difference between the airplane and the lounge? They're 80 feet apart. I mean, in some cases, they're 40 feet apart. Like the lounge is just here, and someone's gate is directly in front of the lounge, and you just walk to the gate, get on the plane, and order whatever drink you want to order. So is it legal? Is it illegal? Is it immoral? Is it moral? Like, what is going on with the booze? And the answer is, well, in Atlanta on Sunday, they don't serve before 11. All right, but then what about the airplane? Where's the airplane? That's in Atlanta. They go, well, okay, can we just do this? And all the people who travel, it may be 11 in the morning, to you in Atlanta, but if you come from Tokyo or Istanbul, or you're going there, or whatever it is, your clock is all over. There's people from all different time zones. So, can we just do this? Once you clear security, there is no more time. Whatever rules applied on the other side of security, that's what the rules are. But once you clear security, it's just on, and it's universal.
Yeah.
It's when the lounge is open, the bar is open. If the lounge opens at 6 a.m., bar's open.
Yes.
If it opens at 8, bar's open. On the other side of security, like once you're on that side of security, then you're in Atlanta. But once you clear it, you're in international fucking waters, and it should just all be the same.
And everybody who are in those lounges, you're not going to fly the plane. There's no liability. You're not going to be, everybody who's there, you can't go into the lounge with a ticket that has already expired. So everyone's just going to go get on a plane anyways. Why do I have to sit here and drink coffee at 9 a.m. when everybody knows we want a Bloody Mary?
Because in Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. And if you're in LA, you could get a Bloody Mary.
Sure.
And that's the weird part. And whether it's that or getting back to Bill Gates, age of consent, can we just go 18? Like we have decided as a society, 18 to enlist in the military, 21 for alcohol, 18 for cigarettes, 16 to operate a motor vehicle. We just got numbers.
Yeah.
Let's just bring it to the airport. That's all. Let's not have a different set everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Global age of consent.
For nearly 2 months, Mayor Karen Bass has repeatedly denied that she was involved in altering an after-action report on the Palisades fire to downplay failures by the city and the Los Angeles Fire Department. But 2 sources with knowledge of Bass's office said that after receiving an early draft, the mayor told then interim fire chief Ronnie Villanueva that the report could expose the city to legal liabilities for those failures. Bass wanted key findings about the LA Fire Department's actions removed or softened before the report was made public.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so important that we get more women of color in positions of power because it'll heal and fix all this stuff.
Of course.
Okay. Here's the whole thing. It's a weird discussion, and Gavin Newsom does it, and Karen Bass does it, and everyone does it, where they go, these people work tirelessly, blah, 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 blah. The fucking city burnt to the ground. So I don't know. Like, are you lying? Are you incompetent? Stupid or liar? Like, whatever it is, there was no water coming out of the fire hydrants. The aqueducts were empty. You guys didn't deploy anybody. The fire started a week earlier. You called the guys off it. You fucked up royally and everything burned to the ground. And now you want to get into an argument over what the report says. It's basically like saying your team just lost 48-0, and now we're going to go over the playbook. And it's like, however you want to dissect this, you guys got fucking murdered. You guys let the place burn to the ground. If you watch a doc, and the name escapes me, but I mean, most of the burning happened the next day. Like, there was no firemen anyway. You guys are process people that are incompetent. I don't know how else to say this. They're like ceremonial. So what I mean is they're kind of 2 kinds of people. They're the sort of get it done people, which is kind of the Rick Caruso and Donald Trump. because he's a commercial builder. They're both builders. They're both developers. So they're both like, here we go. What's the plan? Here we go. What's the plan? And then there's like ceremonial people who just want to ride on the float in the gay parade and like wave to everybody. I mean, here's how you know who these people are. Like where they now. I'm not a ceremonial person. It doesn't sound enticing to me. So during the fires, we had two candidates for mayor. One is named Rick Caruso. The other's named Karen Bass. Karen Bass won because LA's filled with pretentious, fucking retarded people who wanted the first black female mayor. So they voted for her. Okay, she's a ceremonial person. So while the fires were going on, she was in Ghana and she was attending a ceremony because that's her idea of being mayor. If anyone is ever done a business with a woman who wasn't really that into the work part of the business, but like the cocktail part of the business, and you have to underwrite the whole fucking thing while they lose money, which I have done with my ex-wife, you find out they don't like the early mornings and they don't like the fucking work part. They like the cocktail party, ceremonial. They like the ceremonial part of it. So the one person who was running for mayor who won, Karen Bass, was in Ghana. Now, what the fuck does Ghana have to do with Los Angeles? Well, nothing, but she's a ceremonial person, so she was there. The other guy, Rick Caruso, was spraying fire retardant on the roof of his building in the middle of Palisades, which is the only place that didn't burn down. Because he's not a ceremonial person. He's a builder. He's a get-it-done person. He's a hit-the-ground-running kind of guy. We elect these ceremonial retards who run all the cities, and they're great. You got Mayor Fry in Minneapolis. You have Waltz. You have all these, Gavin Newsom. They like presiding over things and waving flags and attending groundbreakings for like AIDS hospices and shit, but they don't like work. They don't like nuts and bolts shit. And you can kind of fake your way through a city and a mayor just having someone just sort of be a seat warmer, just sort of sit there. But eventually shit like fires come about and homeless shit comes about and crime comes about. And now we're there. LA's there. Like we need someone who does stuff. And they're not interested in doing stuff. They want ceremony. That's the whole thing. Nithya Raman, the retard who blames Toyota for the catalytic converter theft, she's now going to run for mayor. She wants to go down to Hyperion in the gay part of town and pull down the no U-turn sign and then pose with a bunch of he-she's. That's her idea of governing. That's not my idea of governing. I want aqueducts fixed and shit coming out of fire hydrants. So they are these people. And then when the city burns to the ground, they have to come up with reasons why it wasn't their fault. So the only time you really see them burning calories is to escape blame, which is now you have, and they can't go to, she's avoiding pressers and stuff like that because she doesn't have answers because she fucked up. The city burned to the ground. She was in Ghana and all the shit that could have saved the city, they didn't do. They didn't manage anything. But she's a ceremonial person. She's not a work person. I know these people. Yeah. They like hanging around. They like going to cocktail parties. And they like the idea of being the mayor. But they don't like the part where it's like, oh, there's a problem with this sewage treatment facility and down at Huntington Beach. And we got to do something like that. The nuts and bolts part of life is like work and it's kind of boring and it's not exciting and it's not great cocktail party conversations and it's a little dirty and no one gives a fuck. But that's the important part. So she just wants to be there for the gay pride parade and so does Gavin Newsom, but they don't actually want to do anything. Yeah. And then they have to figure out a way. Karen Bass, your city burnt to the ground, and you got to figure out a way to explain to everyone you did everything right, which to me is like, all right, well, then you got to go, because if this is what you got. I mean, I had that's where "don't do your best, do my best" came from, because I had a guy fuck something up royally over here a million years ago, and he went, "Hey, I did my best." I was like, if that's your best, then you're gone. You can't.
Yeah.
You should say you were drunk.
Yeah.
Not "I did my best."
Yeah.
So either she fucked up or she didn't fuck up. Either way, she's got to go because the city's burnt
Sure.
to the ground. And then Gavin Newsom has to have photo ops in front of shipping containers with guys with reflective vests and hard hats on behind him explaining how great this bullet train is going, except for there is no bullet train.
Yep.
And he's done nothing, and it's way over budget, and it's billions in the hole. So he has to figure out, how do you do this?
Sure.
You know, like, how do you go, we've wasted billions on a bullet train. We have no track laid. It's been 15 years. We got nothing. And how does Karen Bass talk her way around a city that burns to the ground? Well, that's what they do. Now, they're ceremonial people, so they're going to work on this. Yeah. She's fucking incompetent, and fuck all you with your DEI bullshit. You fucked this country up so badly with that. We're going to get Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is a fucking idiot. Everyone is so enthralled with it. By the way, it's so racist to go like, we're going to have the first black. Yeah, sure, she's incompetent. But who cares? Who cares? Yeah. We'll have the first black, whatever.
It's all the optics. All you got to do is hang out on one movie set one time, and you will definitely find out the people who are all red carpet, no movie making. You'll find out all the people that just want the award. They don't want to learn the script. They don't want to learn how to do lighting. They don't want to learn how to. They don't want any of that. They don't want to work. All they want is just the trophy at the end.
I was shooting a movie once, one of my movies. And there was this guy who will remain nameless, but he liked the idea of being a producer, but he didn't do anything, and he didn't write anything, and he didn't do anything, right? And I remember at some point we were setting up a shot, and someone said, the porta potty in the background, there was a porta potty we had, is in the shot. And then at some point, everyone sort of looked around and went, we got to move that porta potty out of the shot. And this fucking guy who did nothing just stood there and watched while me and the other guy who wrote the movie moved the porta potty because he wasn't doing jack shit.
Yeah.
And just showing up at the premiere. And yes, there's a lot of that. Business. God, you don't know how much money I fucking wasted on business with this kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Karen Bass is ceremonial, but she doesn't want to be a mayor. She doesn't want to do the boring shit and so nifty around. And I think it's, all right, sorry, but I think it's more of a chick thing. So if you said to many guys I know, do you want to go to Ghana and be part of a ceremony? They'd go, I don't fucking want to do that. Yeah. And also they'd say, I'm the mayor of Los Angeles. What the fuck does that have to do with going to Ghana and doing it? It also sounds like a pretty far way to travel and who's paying for it and stuff like that. That doesn't sound attractive to most dudes, but chicks do like the cocktail party and the ceremony and the parade. I mean, what the fuck is Nithya Raman doing over there going down to Silver Lake with a bunch of he-she's and doing photo ops, like pulling signs off? Like, that would sound so unappealing to Rick Caruso. Rick Caruso would go, first off, leave the sign up, but secondly, if you're going to take it off, just go fucking dispatch some guy from the DWP or something to go take it off. Sure. I'm not going to go stand there with a bunch of Elvira Mistress of the Night and take a fucking, do a whole ceremonial bullshit thing in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. And also, people are going to make fun of me. I'm not getting anything done. Yeah, we got a homeless problem.
Think of how many times you've gotten a text message from your daughter, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever it is, and they go, "Hey, by the way, just we got put a little scratch in the car. Not a big deal. Nothing to worry about." And then you show up and you're like, "You ripped the whole fucking quarter panel off the car. What are you talking about?" So when you hear stuff like this, obviously it's a much bigger deal than what she was trying to make it.
All right. Well, she's incompetent, and hopefully she'll go. And fuck all you people with the first. Just start getting competent people in these positions, please. All right, what else?
A 22-year-old woman who identified as a boy in her teen years won a $2 million decision in a landmark lawsuit against New York doctors accused of pushing a double mastectomy on her when she was a minor.
Oh, good. See, I hate to say it, but now the AMA is coming out against these kind of surgeries. People have to get sued, and then they stop. Sure. Everyone is all in on this shit. I mean, AMA and JAMA and all these publications, they all fucking knew this was the right thing to do, and then someone got sued and they all slowed their roll. And I hate it. I hate the litigious part of our society. I hate that they have to sue the ladies from The View or whatever, but it shuts them the fuck up. Like, they stop lying fast, you know? Like, 60 Minutes, they just cook stuff, doctor stuff, and just lie, and they're left-leaning organization, and then they get sued, and they stop.
Sure.
So, good. Now they're all backing off magically. We live in a society where somebody decided men were women and women were men, and men could be women and women could be men. And if anyone dared raise their hand and go, I think I disagree with that, you were shunned? Are we fucking batshit crazy? That was like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
People are being like attacked and fired and docked just for saying, I'm not down with this. I don't want teenagers to be mutilated under a surgeon's knife because they have a mental disorder. Just the fact that somebody even suggested that got their career destroyed. Do you understand how fucking nuts everyone is?
Yeah. And the fact that there are two people that went along with this, she got approval at 16 years old, got approval from a psychologist and a surgeon, both whom a jury found liable for medical malpractice.
Well, what they do really well is they go, would you like a dead son or a live daughter or whatever it is their thing. And they go, there's some report. There is no report. There is no stat. All your fucking shit. They throw shit out. They go like, these illegal aliens commit way less crime than the average and way less murder and contribute more. They actually pay more. And you go, oh, really? Yeah, you're just pulling that out of your ass. That's your fantasy. That's not what's happening. And by the way, how could tons of people coming here illegally and getting on welfare, how could it, and using Medicaid and everything, how could they contribute more than someone who's just here and paid taxes and wasn't on all that shit? Like, do the fucking math. So they don't do any crime and they contribute more and they just make shit up. So they just go, they did this thing where they went, well, the reason you have to transition your daughter into becoming your son is because if you don't, they're going to kill themselves. But that wasn't data.
No.
They made that shit up, and they kept saying, and then they go, so what do you want? You want the dead son or the dead daughter or the live son? And then you go, oh, well, I don't want a dead kid. And they go, all right, well, let's transition the kid. That's all made up shit.
Sure.
They made up all the COVID shit. Like, what's going on? And then what the fuck's wrong with everyone? Like, why isn't anyone questioning anything? They just made shit up and they went, oh, okay. So men can be women and women can be men, right? And these weird gauzy paper masks work even when they're around your chin. And illegals come here, but they contribute more and don't create any crime. Like, it's all a lie. And we just had to go along with it. And if we didn't, we'd get yelled at or called a bigot or closed mind or something. The whole transition thing, like the whole pronouns and everything. Understand. I was talking to Drew about this, and Drew always brings it up because he was in Newark Airport when I brought it up to him. But I said, the Pope went along with this. And I was like, Drew, do you realize we took... If you think about it, think about tall orders. Just think about this for a second, where you go, look, here's what we got to do. Let's just go back 7 years or 11 years or whatever it is. And I go, listen, Rudy, I got a plan. We got to get everyone in society to agree on this. And I don't mean just your friends. I mean the Pope. I mean the government. I mean Gavin Newsom. I mean the mayors of big cities and the governors of big states. Now, here's what we got to do. And then you go, we got to convince them that creamy peanut butter is better than crunchy. Oh, no. It's a much taller order than that. What? We got to convince them that tater tots are better than hash browns. No. We have to convince them that men can be women and women can be men and 14-year-old girls can be 14-year-old boys, and that it's fluid, and there's these things called pronouns, and even if I'm a he and my name's them, I can be a her or it or them, and it's got to be universal and it's got to be accepted, and we got to get to the point if anyone questions it, you'll be fired from your job and you won't get reelected. Now that's our plan, and the Pope's got to be down with this too. That sounds impossible.
Sure.
10 years ago.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's the tallest of all orders.
Yeah.
Getting people to use, smoke Camels instead of Marlboros is one thing, or to drive a Chevy truck instead of a Ford truck. Like, maybe we could do that. But this, convince everyone to sign off that men can be women and women can be men and it's going to be universal. Yes, that's what we're going to do. And they fucking did it.
Yeah, they do it through fear.
I know. And the thing that was funny is when I was talking to Drew about it, he goes, they made everyone believe. And I said, oh, no, it's much worse than that. Nobody believed it. They were scared and went along with it, which is even worse.
Yes.
You don't even like smooth peanut butter.
Yeah.
You're just too scared to say you don't and don't want to be thrown out of your club, your church, or your social, so you just say it. That's Stalin shit. And they fucking did it. So, by the way, when they think they can do something like, hands up, don't shoot, or gentle giant, or inject bleach, or good people on both sides, what? I would think they could do it too. There's nothing they can't do. Mm-hmm. They got average Americans to be scared to say a man can be a man and a woman can be a woman. Yeah. That means they can fucking pull anything off.
Sure.
And fuck y'all for going along with it. And you just got duped by COVID. You got fucked with all this stuff because you're so scared, but you're a narcissist. You know what I mean? Because it's not a popularity contest. You have to just say, you're fucking wrong. Yeah. I'm not going down with this. And then people go, all right, well, no, you're not going to be popular and you're going to be shunned. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You got to suck it up every once in a while. Yeah. Fucking pull your pants up, you pussies, and stop worrying about everything.
Yeah. I
ruined a whole brunch at a vacation in Hawaii because I took a very unpopular opinion with a table of 9, and I was fucking right. Yeah. So I told her to fuck off.
Yeah, fucking hash browns are better than tater tots.
It was leaf blowers, but anyway, ruin a whole fucking brunch in front of friends because I told you fuck off. That's great. What do you want me to do? Just admit. Would you like me to tell you you're right when you're wrong? Mm-hmm. So I'm outnumbered. Yeah. So is Copernicus or whoever.
Absolutely.
They're all outnumbered. Yeah. All the fucking greats are outnumbered. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Fucking speak up, pussies. Y'all got steamrolled. Mm-hmm. Knock it off.
Dude, on 3 hours sleep, man. I love when you get fired up like
fucking
this.
Fired up.
Yeah. All right, one more and then we get out of here. The Algerian boxer who dominated women's boxing at the Paris Olympics admitted to both having a gene only present in males and to taking hormone treatments to lower his testosterone.
This is another one. Everyone was scared to say anything.
Absolutely. Imani Khalif, whatever it is, 26-year-old who made headlines for competing as a woman despite failing multiple gender tests, told a French outlet Wednesday that he had SRY, sex-dominating region Y, a gene that determines male sex.
Well, he or she looks like a dude, number one, when you see him. And then number two, the Italian chick got punched in the face. It was like, I've never been punched that hard in my life. So somebody tweeted this to me. I said, give the gold to Evander Holyfield, who got fucked out of the Olympics, by the way, on a late knockout. So, all right, we'll just chalk this up under everything we've been right about every time. And everyone who's been wrong about this or COVID or gender neutrality or anything, Joe Biden or Hunter Biden's laptop. How about you just sit one out? Just sit one out. Why don't you sit the whole Minnesota thing out?
Sure.
How about it? Just sit this ICE one out? You've been wrong about everything. Just sit one out.
Yeah, I don't get into it with my family anymore. And basically, I told them a couple weeks ago, hey, I want to be done having these conversations with you because I think in 2.5 years, you guys are going to be on to something new. Right. And we're never going to talk about this ever again.
Right.
And then we would have spent the last 6 months being pissed off at each other. So let's just stop.
Adam, it's Mark in South Carolina. I loved your conversation with Jeff Foxworthy regarding the 280ZX. The first time I ever went over 100 miles an hour in a car, I was a 13-year-old, and an older kid on the football team took me in his 280ZX, and I was sitting on the hump in the back seat. Lack of back seat. Got to get it on. Good memories.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, man. Adam Yenzer is here. Good dude. Funny comedian.
Thanks. Good to be back.
Good joke writer. Got his dry bar special out there. You can look for. What's the easiest way to find your special?
Dry bar, it's called Adam Yenzer, not big enough to cancel. But if you look at my name in dry bar, it'll come up.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
All right, so you got some news for us?
Yeah. Labor leader Cesar Chavez in trouble. Abuse allegations against Cesar Chavez prompt calls for renaming streets and schools. Lionized as a leader of the Latino labor movement, Chavez's legacy is now crippled. The allegations have sparked call to rename streets, schools, and other facilities that bear his name. A New York Times investigation details the testimonies of two women, now in their 60s, who accused Chavez of years-long sexual abuse beginning in the 1970s when they were 12 and 13, and Chavez was in his 40s. His fellow labor rights activist Dolores Huerta, who's now 95, also came forward.
95.
95. I think she was a little younger when he...
Yeah, she's probably in her 80s.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't pull that mic up to you, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just better.
Bit. There we go.
So it's the problem. Here's the problem. If you got a group with a large group to pull from, as far as heroes go, then you can toss heroes because there's always a backup. You know, so white guys, we have a pretty big pool, right?
We can cross one off and move to the next one.
So we go, you know, Joe Paterno got caught up in this. All right, well, you know what? Bring in Neil Armstrong. We'll use him.
I'm a Penn State guy. I was hoping he would come up.
Sorry. I had to bring him up.
But
my whole point is we can get rid of half the founding fathers. We still got Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
Never know. Mexicans, they don't got a deep pool. They're not a lot of heroes over there, right?
Well, they ran out of them for the Modelo commercials.
Right. They used them all up in the Modelo
now
commercials.
They're on to the fans.
Right. So Cesar Chavez was one, you know, like, I'm from L.A., and so you guys had Antonio Villaraigosa, who was the mayor of Los Angeles for what felt like 300 years, who's a fucking retard, who failed the bar 4 times, failed it 4 times, and then didn't take it a 5th time, by the way, because he figured out he was too fucking dumb to pass the bar. And we made that guy mayor of Los Angeles. So you guys don't have a lot of heroes. You have a retard who used to be the mayor of Los Angeles, who now works for... He worked for like Nutrisystems or something, Herbalife or something like that. He's a fucking loser retard. All right, so you only have a handful of winners. It's sort of like with the Mexicans out here, at least. Now, look, you know, you maybe got your Pancho Villas or something wherever your homeland. But I'm saying on this soil, it's slim pickings.
Yeah.
Like the only people that are...
They can't change it to Pancho Villa Boulevard and Pancho Villa High School.
The only people that really have slimmer pickings than the Mexicans are the Japanese. You guys got... You got Yoko Ono and George Takei, the 2 biggest fucking idiots I've ever met. Like the 2 worst artists on the 2 biggest complaining assholes on the fucking planet. And those are your 2 most famous Japanese is that. Yeah. That's all you got. Mexicans tough. Mexicans tough too. Like sometimes they'll do that thing. Well, they'll go, you know, there are plenty of influential and famous black female inventors.
Yes.
There's Marjorie Johnson, she invented the ironing board. Okay, by the way, every table's an ironing board. No one invented an ironing board. The 10 minutes after well, what about the guy invented peanut butter? Okay, that ain't a lot.
It's that and windshield wipers, I remember. Because they were always... When I was at the Ellen show, she would always want to do monologues about all the things women have invented.
Yeah.
And every time we researched it, it was the same 5 things come up on
Windshield
Google.
wipers.
It's
By the
just
way,
every single thing is always the same
there's
list.
a couple things. They invented, so-and-so's Mickey Dolenz mom from the Monkees or whatever. Someone invented whiteout. That's another female thing. That's you putting white nail polish on typos. It's not... And also... Things like windshield wipers. 10 minutes after a car was invented in like 10 minutes after the invention of the windshield, the first day it rained, somebody thought, it's not like we wouldn't have windshield wipers today.
It wasn't industrial
And by the way,
revolution.
and let me tell you, a woman invented windshield wipers. A woman told a dude to make windshield wipers. There should be something that moves the water, and then the guy fucking did all the work. That's what happened. So it's very slim pickings for the Mexicans. So they took Cesar Chavez and they turned him into a folk hero. Like they went big. Now I'm from Southern California. And remember, my mom was a hippie, and Cesar Chavez was a leader, a labor union leader for the farm workers of whatever.
United Farm Workers.
Yeah.
And we had a boycott of grapes. Look it up. There was a grape boycott. We boycotted grapes.
That'll learn them.
In like 1974 or something. There was a grape boycott like 1974. And I remember my mom going, we're not crossing the line. Like, we're not buying grapes.
Yeah. And how old were you at this time?
I'm 8 or 10 or whatever. Like, we're doing a grape boycott. And I was like, 74. Grape boycott. But I was like, all right, Mom, but we're also boycotting steak, air conditioning, pork chops, my own fucking room. Like, I feel like going to Disneyland. What other boycotts am I unaware of that we will not cross the line? We're boycotting Oreo cookies, Jell-O instant pudding, Captain Crunch. We're boycotting lunch meat. We're boycotting, evidently... There's a lot of shit the Carollas were boycotting back then. Grapes officially, the grape boycott, part of the Border United Farm Workers, UFW movement by Cesar Chavez. Dolores Huerta, that's the one, was substantial efforts, blah, blah, blah. So I remember the boycott. Now, so here's the thing. Here, I got mixed feelings about Cesar Chavez, because on one hand, I'm not down with having sex with the underage girls or the rape or whatever he's accused of. On the other hand, he used to use the term wetback all the time.
And I'm like, very pro that.
Yeah, I gotta kind of go like, dude, you know what I mean? You got to separate. You know, it's like Hitler's bad, but he did love his dog.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so this guy's a serial rapist, but he said wetback all the time. And I was like...
Now, maybe they could, on all the signs, just, instead of renaming them, they could put a little asterisk. And then at the bottom of the sign, there's a long descriptor of what
we're going to need that. People think he was some sort of hero and pro-immigrant. He wasn't. The people in the Union were the people... So... This guy did not want illegals coming across the border, swimming the Rio Grande, thus he called them wetbacks. He did not want that because they would undercut his union workers.
He wanted the farm workers here.
Farm workers here, for the sake of argument, we're getting $5 an hour to pick grapes. These guys will do for $3 an hour, so he didn't want it, which I know the guy's a hero to the left, but he's kind of making Trump's point. All right, here we go. Sorry.
I find very interesting. Would you say that it's, at this particular moment, as important as any of the other problems facing the union?
Oh, yes. In the last 3 weeks, the last 2 weeks, it has become an emergency for us. Well, there's an awful lot of illegals coming in by the hundred, by the thousands. Our people are not only in some of the crews where there's now strike breaking. Some of those crews are 100% illegals. Outright, openly, with no attempt to disguise it. And so it's so bad now that we estimate 60 to 70% of the farm workers in California are the resident worker. the citizen is out of a job because of the wetbacks. They're coming in by the thousands. Just
Snuck that wetback in there.
Yeah.
So again, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
And now, from your analysis, do you think, I feel like these allegations just came out in the New York Times, but I feel like there's always rumblings that people kind of know there's something shady. Like, people know that beforehand. Do you think that because the Mexicans don't have a deep well to pull from, maybe Biden opened the border because they were like, if we bring 3 million of them in, we're going to need to replace one of these heroes soon?
There's an element of, look, Martin Luther King, had some extramarital affairs.
Yes, yeah.
They don't really talk about that often. You know what I mean? So there's an element of protecting, your guy.
Yes.
But again, blacks have a deeper bench to go to.
Yeah.
And they don't, but the Mexicans, they don't have a deep, I mean, it's Mario Lopez, I guess. Got to be a top fiver. Like, what? Where?
Mario Lopez High School and Mario Lopez intersection.
Listen, I know Mario. He's a fucking family man. He's a good dude.
We can
why
nominate
not
him to Karen Bass as the replacement?
Why not we replace Cesar Chavez with
Mario Lopez Ravine?
He's in this town. He's fucking paying taxes. He's always working.
I think you solved this one. That's good.
Dolores Herta's 95. Hold on. Karen Bass just signed a proclamation renaming Cesar Chavez Day holiday as Farm Workers Day. First Columbus, and now this.
Well, first of all, all our problems are solved now that we got.
In L.A. Yeah.
I have a more sinister view on it. I believe they knew all this shit. They knew everything about this dude for the longest time. Now it's convenient to get rid of him because of his stance against illegal immigration, and they don't want that catching on. So get him out, rename everything, wipe him out of the thing, and keep allowing illegal immigration.
That was kind of a Tim Walz thing, where it's like they knew about all this shit. They vetted him. They just figured they'd win, and they wouldn't have to do anything about it.
But he was convenient for them for the longest time. Now it's inconvenient.
Yes.
Now he's gone.
Yeah. Well, there's a great clip of Joe Biden putting Cesar Chavez's bust up.
Oh, really?
In the Oval Office, which is great. But here's the thing. And I don't defend, we'll listen to it, and then I'll defend Biden.
Chavez has inspired millions, including me. I was proud to place the bust of his likeness in my office. So if you walk in my office, you can't forget what he taught us. Chavez instilled in our nation the principle that our ambition must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sakes and for our own. We have no finer role model than Cesar Chavez.
Right. So to be fair, I'll defend Biden. Somebody put the bust in the Oval Office and then handed him a script, and he said,
"Oh yeah,
why do we have a Casey Kasem's head in my office?" And they went, "No, it's Cesar Chavez." And he went, "Who's that?" Was that guy do the lawn? And he goes, "No. Just fucking read this, would you? You got Mexicans who want to vote for you. Okay, and pretend like you mean it."
Yeah. And he probably had to read the script 5 times before he stumbled over aspirations. There was a lot of big words.
There was a lot of big words. That was 7 takes they put together there. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, the guy's from fucking Delaware.
Yeah.
You think he knows? He's got his finger on the pulse of the grape picking scene in SoCal in the mid-'70s.
He's got the inside track from Baccaria.
He was eating grapes that whole time.
Yeah, he knows Javier Baccaria. Right. Yeah, nobody knows the Latinos like Joe Biden does. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't know who he is, so let's be fair.
Well, we got some more LA issues also. California's unfinished wildlife bridge to nowhere has now topped $100 million. In 2022, California Governor Gavin Newsom broke ground on the Wallace-Annenberg Wildlife Crossing, a project featuring an overpass for animals atop 10 lanes of the 101 freeway in Southern California.
Hold on. This just in. Wallace Annenberg was a serial rapist, so we got to read
Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez overpass. Mario, I'm gonna get everything named after you.
I looked it up. So Wallace Annenberg, she's a philanthropist that started funding this bridge, but clearly she didn't fund enough of it to pay for it. I don't think you can get your name on it anymore if taxpayers are covering $54 million worth. But,
well, it's over $100 million. It's just like a dirt bridge that goes over the 101 that any normal person would go, that can be built for the price of like a medium-sized house in Reseda.
Yeah.
And yet it's over $100 million, which is just shows it's all grift and graft in LA. Everything's insane. Somebody started putting up pictures of their bridges in different
from other states.
Yeah, it's like Colorado's $15 million bucks, you know. And like, by the way, Colorado's not free. They got their Democrats over there. They're wasting money.
Yeah.
But it's $15 million bucks for an overpass. We just can't. Well, by the way, we can't do anything. That's what I'm trying to like. I try to tell people this all the time. Like, elect this, get that. I go, you don't get it. These people don't do anything. They talk about stuff,
and they turn it into a grift, like you said. One of their excuses for it continuing is they said something for every like $11 million they spend, it creates 10,000 jobs or something of people working on this thing.
Yeah, but it's like this. It's like me going. It's like me going. It's like me walking into the next room and taking a bunch of plastic forks in a box and throwing them on the ground and going, all right, I'll give you $10 to clean that up.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I've created a job, everybody, except for it's still a fucking waste.
Yes.
Yes.
And we have a video here. The woman who's in charge of this, her name here is Beth Pratt. She's saying the bridge will be used for everything from monarch butterflies to mountain lions. So monarch butterflies fly, but apparently they need a bridge also to get over the road. And here she is. She's basically blaming the over-budget thing on Trump's tariffs. And
yeah. It started 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
The bridge, they started 5 years ago.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
When we started stage 1 and we're waiting to start stage 2, the world changed beneath us though. This spring, construction costs increased considerably. And although we were holding reserves to finish construction, all those are exhausted at this point because of tariffs, inflation, and so many other factors impacting construction projects, not just ours. So we need your help one more time to get us to the finish line and help us build back those reserves so that we can ensure that we finalize construction by November so we can all cut that ribbon together. What a moment that will be. And like you, I can't wait to see that first mountain lion cost. The promise to P22 will be fulfilled.
By the way, can I say this? If this thing is ever finished, Mexicans are going to do a street takeover. They're going to be guys in Dodge Challengers doing Brodies in the middle of this fucking thing. They're going to pull all the wire out of the lights, and the LAPD is just going to sit there and watch and go, there's nothing. I cannot wait for the street takeover of the fucking bridge. Guys, we'll put them in those like quads.
Yeah,
we'll have them in those four-wheeler quads, and they'll just be doing fucking donuts.
Wheelies across the thing on those little mini motorbikes.
Yeah. Oh, God. Also, anybody with a straight face in LA goes, look, we just need a couple of more dollars to finish that train. Like, are you fucking... I would rather speed in my car and throw it out the fucking window. It would go to better use than give you more fucking money for one of your projects that never ends.
Yeah. And I love that woman's outfit with just holding a stuffed puma. She reminds me of when in the early days of like American Idol and like the X Factor, every now and then somebody would walk out and just from their look, or they were just a crazy character, and Simon would immediately be like, no, this isn't happening.
Right.
I feel like when she comes to pitch this project, you just see that and you go, no,
she looks insane.
We're not going to do this.
We did the Hoover Dam in 5 years, everybody. Yeah. We can't build the overpass in 5 years.
In the LA Fire Department news, 4 of the 5 members of the Board of Fire Commissioners, which oversees the Los Angeles Fire Department, are stepping down at a time when the department is under intense scrutiny because of its missteps in handling the devastating Palisades fire. The departures, they include board members. They're all women with 3 names. There's
okay, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Hyphenated name chicks.
Yes.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yep.
Okay, let's hear the lead woman's name. Let's just sit on this for a second.
There's first Genethia Hudley Hayes.
Okay. I just picture a bunch of fat women of color doing fucking nothing all day.
And she's 81 to top it. So
really? Janethia, who was formerly like a school union person.
Yeah.
Okay.
School board member. I don't. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go in order again.
Yep.
Janethia.
Then we've got
get the full name. Sorry, Janethia.
Janethia Hudley Hayes.
Okay.
Then next we've got Corinne Tapia Babcock.
Mm-hmm. Another effective name.
Yep. Then we've got Jimmy Woods Gray. Jimmy is the name, but it's a woman.
Jimmy Woods Gray. So we got all three hyphenated so far, and all three chicks. And you know what? I'll say it once, I'll say it again. It's important to get women of color in positions of power so we can fix this fucking city, right?
Yes.
You imagine how much more of it would have burned if these were white guys with just two names?
Yeah.
Instead of three?
They wouldn't have that extra name to lend them credibility.
Yes.
And then the fourth one has only two names, but it's Sharon Dulagok.
Well, that's a big name.
Yeah, it's an impressive name.
Here's what we do, and everyone hates me, but I mean it. And everyone goes, what's wrong with DEI? What's wrong with DEI? This is what's wrong with DEI. Look, you can appoint as many ceremonial bullshit, doesn't do anything jobs as you fucking want, but at some point when it comes down to fire panel or commission, shit burns down, and you need competent people in those positions. And they can be women of color, but most often aren't. And we need the board to represent the best we have, not the diversification of whatever. And this is the fucking problem. I don't know why. It's not a racist thought. It's just a meritocracy thought. Now, listen. All the ceremonial bullshit jobs you guys create, knock yourself out with the fat black lesbians. Go nuts. But when it comes to real important jobs, then we need boring white guys or fat black lesbians who are really good at fire prevention.
Who are qualified or have done it before.
Right.
Like one of the things they suggested as these commissioners were leaving is instead of 5 to expand it to 7 and include an active duty and retired LAFD member. And it's like, how is that not already part of having someone who knows what they're doing?
What is their title again?
It is the Board of Fire Commissioners.
Right, but nobody who's ever been in a firehouse.
There's a school board member and a fat black lesbian.
So fucking. Here's what I'm saying, people. Eventually, people die with your bullshit DEI stuff. Eventually. Again, it doesn't look. You let the chick on to the campus of Harvard, even though her SAT scores weren't as good as the Asian chick, and toss the Asian chick off. Nobody dies. But you give them these kind of important positions, and yes, people get killed. Also, and I'll play the clip. People forget about this. We played it right after the fire. This is totally insane. What is this dude's or chick's name? This is our position, I guess. LAFD. I can't read. Assistant chief. All right. The assistant chief of the LA Fire Department is a large brown woman, and she's going to sit down and give us her feelings on fire prevention.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease.
Pause it. First off, that's an insanely racist thought. It's an insanely racist thought. And I think there's a lot of projection. I think a lot of black and brown people are actually racist, and they think we invented racism, so we're going to have this kind of racist thought. I have no idea and no thoughts about the color or even gender of the person that shows up to my house.
Yes.
I just want them to show up. And by the way, half the time a fire department shows up, it's like the middle of the night and you're asleep and stuff.
And they've got full gear.
They have full gear
it's
and
an
it's
emergency.
dark
They've got
outside.
you don't know whether they look like you or not.
Yeah, so...
and you don't care. If they're qualified, then...
Right, although I would prefer a dude if I need to be carried out of the house. But anyway...
And in good shape, not a bulging body under the fire suit.
So not a fat broad. But anyway, she's going to explain that you want a person that looks like you. It's also... The insinuation is like... Well, a white fireman is going to help a white guy, but he's not going to help a black guy. And a black fireman might not help a white guy. It's like, are you fucking nuts? Get your badge, take your oath, and do your job. No one cares. All right, but here it is. Sorry.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Okay. Only 5% of working firemen are women. Somebody edited that and then okayed it and then put it on the internet. You fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Are you nuts? Your husband? Sayonara. Tough shit, bro. You shouldn't have been smoking when you were so tired.
No.
Now your house is on fire, and whose fault is it? Well, I guess it's yours. So I could try to carry you out of here, or I could just go back to the truck and get some marshmallows, and you can learn a fucking lesson. Like, Jesus Christ, bitch. No one's fired her, by the way? Like, you put this video out, you need to be fired.
Well, they keep getting reassigned because the Janethia Hudley Hayes, she was initially appointed by Antonio Villagrosa.
Oh, we got to change the name.
Served 8 years and then was again appointed by Mayor Karen Bass. And then,
and these people get paid for this shit?
Yeah.
We are so
and
fucking
Janethia
nuts.
she said, for me, it's time to retire at 81. It's time for me to take care of Janethia. So 81.
Oh.
And I assume it's like a Biden 81 and not a Trump 81.
And after a long career of not fighting fires.
Yes.
It's time to retire.
Yeah.
Yeah. After a long career of bilking money from taxpayers for doing fucking nothing, it's time to hang up the cleats.
And when these reports came in about the Palisades fire, how they let it burn, they didn't extinguish it completely, there's a lot of mishandling. All these people when that report came in, they kind of refused to investigate it any further. They don't want accountability.
Well, they're like Newsom with fraud.
Yes.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't like fraud, but if it's in his state and makes him accountable, then no investigation for fraud.
Yeah.
That's the way it rolls. Makes sense. And by the way, these are the people you want. This is a funny one. When did this Pride magazine article come out? It says, amid Palisades fire, Los Angeles' first LGBTQ plus fire chief is proving lesbians get it done. After you burned everything down, this is lesbians getting it done?
That sounds like the slogan for a union you don't want to be a part of.
That's right. Lesbians.
Get it done.
Get it done. All right.
And when someone comes to save you, you don't want them to just look like you. You want to know who they sleep with and be like, wait, do you have the same sexual orientation as I do?
So important that they scissor and eat pussy all day. Because I'm not letting them save my kids if they're not scissoring all day with their partners. Jesus Christ. Are we fucking nuts? And by the way, could sane people start piping up and explaining this DEI bullshit is dangerous?
Yes.
It's dangerous.
Well, the thing that annoys me the most about it, I've heard people on the left, they try to retroactively claim that DEI is what gave us like affirmative action, and then they go into the civil rights movement, and then they say that the Americans with Disabilities Act, that everything that ever helped the disenfranchised group was DEI, and that's not true at all.
Yes, the dumb shits from The View are like, he's against DEI because he doesn't want to see black people, and no. It's none of that.
That term diversity, equity, and inclusion never appeared together anywhere until around the George Floyd riots. It started gaining momentum. And then there was a bill that Biden passed that used DEI like 23 times. And it's just quota-based hiring based on identity politics. That's all that it is.
Yes. So what we're saying is we would like a world-class orchestra, and we will hire the best violinists and cellists and French horn players and we will not pay attention to the color of their skin because we want a world-class orchestra. Now, it doesn't mean there's not going to be black and Hispanics in the orchestra. We just want the best players for the orchestra. And if you think black and Hispanic are underrepresented in the orchestra, then you may want to start a program reaching out to these people and getting them involved with music at a younger age. But we're not going to fuck up the orchestra and shove in some people that look like you, asshole.
Yep. And then because of intersectionality, it became even worse. It even disenfranchised some of those people. There was a project I was working on at the time, and they had a big DEI department. And I tried to recommend a black friend as a writer, but they said no, because it can't be a straight black guy.
Yeah, that's
And I
right.
recommended a gay guy, but they were like, no, it's a white gay guy. You need to have all the right intersectionality, genderqueer requirements to fulfill the role.
It's sad. And like I said, when it's the orchestra or a sitcom, people aren't dying. But when you start getting into positions like fire chief, then people die.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. What else?
You mentioned fraud earlier. There's first there was the daycare center fraud in Minnesota. Now there's a CBS investigation. A salon, a modeling agency, and 89 hospices are registered to one 3-story LA building. The Merabi Professional Medical Plaza, a 3-story, 32,000 square foot stucco and glass building, is home to 89 licensed hospice companies.
89.
Yes. This particular building, patient advocate Sheila Clark said, I noticed this particular building and I'm like, dang, how can there be that many licensed and certified hospices in this tiny little building? It's something called clustering, which is grouping large numbers of hospice offices together. And it's basically a way to, fraud the government out of benefits and funding for these companies that it may not be actually there.
It's so insane. And listen, you can't have this kind of chasm between how much you expect the taxpayer to give you versus how you treat the money they give you. And so what I've always said about Los Angeles and California and any blue state or any sanctuary state is there are always going to be citizens that cost you money and then citizens that pay for the citizens that cost you money. Now, the government doesn't have money, but they'll take your money and they'll give some welfare or school lunches or build a prison or incarcerate or have mental services or whatever. But so there's a group of people who are basically takers. And I'm not even using it as a pejorative. I'm just kind of saying you guys are at a deficit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like saying I have an employee, he eats a lot of food, he doesn't really get much done, and he steals supplies. It's like, okay, well, that person is a negative on your business. And then there'll be ones that come in early and stay late and do the work of 3, and that's a positive. And so what you hope for is like the one guy's doing the work of 3 can kind of spackle over the guy stealing the supplies, but it'd be nice to get rid of that guy at a certain point. And so LA has a thing. And by the way, the takers, the criminals or the people that are on welfare or the people that are, their chronic back problems that are on disability or whatever, you need to, first off, let's not make them into heroes. These are takers. Let's do the best we can with them efficiently, but let's not yell at the other people who are paying to pay more so we can take care of more takers, especially when most of them are making the shit up.
Yeah.
And whether it's New York or it's LA, their plan is like, we got to get more income to take care of more of this. And my answer is you're already at the top of the fucking heap in terms of taking income from citizens. You can keep going higher, but like according to my math, people living in California 15 years from now will take home 25% of their pay and the other 75 is going to you guys. So I don't like where this is heading. We're already at about 50-50 federal and state. So let's work on the money that's flying out the window with all the takers. And nobody's saying take the person with polio and shove them off a cliff. We're saying take the person who's faking polio, and there's a lot of them, and let's see if we can stop that bleeding. And then you won't need to keep coming after us for more money. But their only solution is come after the creators and the people doing the work of 3 and see if they can get them to do the work of 4 and pay no never mind to the people that are taking all the money, which is, it's insane, but it's also really super nervy. Like, if you think about it, like, it's like literally just going, like, could you imagine your parents with a straight face going, look, your brother chooses not to work. He chooses not to do chores. He doesn't want to do anything. And we're already taking about half of your allowance and funneling it over to your brother. And you're like, where is he? I don't know. He's probably playing video games and eating taffy right now. Why doesn't he work again? Don't worry about that. We're at about 50%. What we're looking for is about 60%, so we can channel more. How about you go talk to the guy?
And maybe you can do more chores to earn more allowance to give more of it to him.
How about you talk to the guy who's not doing anything?
Exactly.
And also, you're welcome.
Yes.
Like, instead of yelling at me, I'm not paying my fair share, I'm not doing enough chores, how about you go find the guy who's not doing any chores and go fucking talk to him?
And you have the taker side like that. And then the government agencies that oversee all this, it's the same people that go over budget on bridge projects and stuff. You mentioned New York. There was a study that came out this week. I think that it's New York City spends as much per year on each homeless person as a family makes in a year.
Right.
That's how much money they're pouring into just every homeless person.
It has to go that way because it's not their money. They're spending your money. It's always going to work that way. So they're going, and now Kathy Holcomb, who's appears to be an idiot, is like now trying to get her high dollar people not to leave.
Yeah.
And she's like saying, come on, do the right thing. They're like, fuck you, I'm going to Florida. Like, your business plan is chasing off the people who do the work of 3 and do all the chores. Your business plan for this house is alienating the son that does all the chores and getting him to move to Nashville and being left with the fucking flopped out son, the flunky who does nothing.
Yeah,
that's your strategy.
We lose all the billionaires and we keep all the homeless, basically.
Right. That's your plan.
Yeah.
I don't know why no one has really seemed to figure that one out. And also, Memdami or whoever, you thinking rich guys are going to do the right thing? Rich guys already pay half their income for shit they don't use.
Yeah.
So do not try to guilt them. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. It's like saying, I got a parking ticket and it was $57, and then someone goes, why don't you do the right thing and pay $80? It's like, I'm pissed at 57, bro. Like, I already am angry at 57. What do you mean the right thing?
And I'm glad the fraud's finally being exposed, because it seems like because they're throwing other people's money at this, they haven't previously shown much interest in exposing this fraud, which is going on. Like,
I think it's deeper, and sorry for cutting you off, but
no, not at all.
I think it's two things. It's your money, so who gives a shit?
Yeah.
B, it's our constituency. Let's not piss off the people that are voting for us by looking into their fraud.
Yeah.
That is our constituency. I mean, Somalians in Minnesota, I mean, you don't think these people in Tim Walz knew anything about this?
They had the Leering Center up there. And then some of the signs of fraud that they found with this hospice center, they had 6 times the normal number of hospice centers in one area as any other state. There was more hospice center providers than they needed for the elderly population in that area. There was a guy who was on their records as receiving ongoing medication for both diabetes and malaria. Which is like, no one in California has contracted malaria in years. And there was nurses would report that about the grief of a family that lost a patient there, and there was no record that the patient ever actually died.
Well, here's the whole thing, everybody, all the time. I've now sadly realized it. People are no different than pets. And it's sad. But I mean, my dog Phil never listened to a word I said. But as soon as Dr. Drew got a little treat in his hand, he sat, he laid down. He did everything Drew told him to do, but he needed the treat.
Yeah.
And sorry, that's what he does. You know what I mean? And you go, but why doesn't he just do the right thing? It's like, because he's a dog, and he's just going to do what's in it for him. And you can do two things. You can either give him a treat or you can beat him. Either way, you can get him to sit. It's got to be one or the other.
So you're saying we should beat the hospice
I'm saying
owners,
beat
if I'm following.
people in hospice care is what I'm saying.
What's in hospice care?
Is one of those hospice centers named the Mario Lopez
No,
Memorial?
not yet, but I think they're
Nothing?
going to have to.
Okay.
Right now it's Merabi Plaza, but if Merabi has committed sexual
here's
assault.
the thing. We can either dream of a world where on Halloween you leave the big plastic pumpkin on the porch and you put all the M&Ms in there and all the peanut butter cups, and you put a little sign that says limit yourself
Take
to
one.
one. Limit yourself to one.
Yep.
We can dream of a world where every kid who walks up just takes one and walks away, or we can take a guy with a fucking shotgun and have him stand next to the pumpkin. The dream of the world part, I was with you, except for first guy comes in and takes the pumpkin. So that doesn't work because it goes against human nature. The kid is not a criminal. He may not even be bad. He just looks down, sees a pumpkin filled with peanut butter cups, realizes he loves peanut butter cups, looks around, and helps himself to all the peanut butter cups. That's called the human condition. That's how adults are.
And you just need someone there to beat him.
We need somebody to beat them. No, that is. So when you start all these programs, immediately they get abused. And they get abused in a weird way. They turn decent people sort of into criminals. Like anyone who gets divorced, you take your ex-wife who was a decent person before the divorce, you turn her into a horrible criminal. Yeah, essentially, like an immoral person, like someone who's like will take all the money and do whatever, like a real disappointing person because the law turned her into it. And they go, well, is this person a thief? No, but if the law is on their side, then they're going to take as much of your shit as they can that they didn't earn. Oh, we got Hochul.
Oh, okay.
New York governor told Trump voters. Oh, this is told him. Yeah. Do I have a clip of it? Sorry.
The era of Trump and Zeldin and Molinaro, just jump on a bus and head down to Florida where you belong, okay? Get out of town.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Get out. Take your wallets.
You don't represent our values.
Their values.
You are not New Yorkers.
Hold on. Hey, bitch, we pay for your values. We may not represent. We don't represent getting illegals abortions or sex changes, but we fucking pay for it. I love it. By the way, she's a fucking dope.
She's awful.
She's a dope. And you can't have dope. Again, DEI and dopes in positions of power. So anyway, 2022, she's telling all the Trump people to hit the bricks. But now this is her now. Sorry.
Being conscious of the facts that I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. Right? Now, there are some patriotic millionaires who stepped up. Okay, cut me the checks. I mean, just if you want to be supportive, but maybe the first step should be go down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home, because our tax base has been eroded.
All right.
So
she doesn't have any money, but by the way, we don't share your values. What the fuck values are you talking about? Run the city competently and don't let my values are, I don't want Palisades to burn down. I don't want New York to go broke. Those are my values. What are your values? Oh, it's the LGBT plus community. Okay. Yeah. So run everyone out. It's so retarded. And by the way, chicks do it all the time. They go, Elon Musk, you're a dope. You've never done anything. Get out of here. It's like, okay, I'll take me and my 700,000 employees.
It's 5 different companies and rockets and electric cars and AI.
Yes. All right. This Friday and Saturday, Norfolk, Nebraska, at the District Event Center. 2 shows. Early show on Friday's pretty much sold out, but there'll be shows Friday and Saturday, late shows and that kind of stuff. You go to adamcarolla.com. Lincoln, I'm going on Sunday, by the way. Just go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows. What can I plug for you? Other Adam.
I got canceled news on my YouTube channel. I will be at the Junkyard in Simi Valley April 11th, and I'll be at the Kenosha Comedy Club with Yakov May 29th and 30th.
By the way, Junkyard's not a gig. He's picking out a new master cylinder for his Toyota.
I am. I got to be
pulling one off a RAV4.
Hopefully an audience will show up to watch.
All right. Until next time, it's time for Nick Leisure and Brian Austin Green and Adam Yenzer saying mahalo. All right. What do you got in the news, Dawson?
Well, let's go the Southern Hemisphere first, because this is amazing. A Brazilian state legislator has sparked outrage this week, or last week, after blackfacing by smearing dark foundation across her face and arms during a speech in the Sao Paulo Assembly. Fabiana Bolsonaro.
Kind of hot.
Yeah, she decided to protest after a person named Erica Hilton, who's actually Eric, made history as the first openly transgender woman elected to Brazil's National Congress. She was appointed the chairperson of the Commission for the Defense of Women's Rights.
Aha, the dude who's posing as a chick.
So Bolsonaro went to the lectern and made a whole bunch of sense.
Sendo uma pessoa branca.
As a white person, having lived through every experience as a white person, now at 32, I've decided to put on makeup, to dress up as a black person, to cover myself up and let only the outside show. And here I ask, so what now?
E agora?
Have I become black?
I love that, by the way, other countries are going nuts too. It's not just us.
Yeah.
Like the amount of trans talk we have to have is fucking insane in this country.
Well, this woman's got bigger balls than the dude who's in charge of women's rights. Now, she asked you, the one watching me, as I paint myself black, I feel firsthand the pain that a black person has felt because of racism, because of not being able to get a job. I actually have an aunt who, before the 1990s, went looking for a job, and she is black. She said that during the job interview, she did great, but then the people conducting the interview said the following: "You're great. I'd really like to hire you, but you're black. We don't hire black people."
I learned that from watching Good Times.
So she says, am I black now?
I love her.
Sentindo as dores de uma mãe que tem o filho que sofre tudo que sofre na rua por ser negro.
No, she's right. You're not black just because you color yourself black. You're not a woman because you put a dress on.
Well, she goes on to say, come on, I identify as black. Why can't I then be the chair of the Commission on Racism?
Right.
The speech drew immediate condemnation within the chamber.
A lot of condemnation. By the way, the only way to get this stuff to go away is to mock the other side, the reason with, and the sort of negotiate with. So there's two groups you can't negotiate with: terrorists and progressives. Getting terrorists to like you just means you're an easier target and an easier kill.
Correct.
And progressives are the same way. Because progressives and terrorists don't really state their true goals. If their true goal was to just get along, but there's a misunderstanding, then you could get along with terrorists and progressives, but they both want you destroyed because you think differently than they think, and that's the part they don't really tell you.
Right.
So you apologizing and going, no, you misunderstood what I was doing, or I have a lot of black friends, or whatever you're going to say to them, it never works, so you just have to go fuck off. And I remember exactly where I was sitting with Tucker Carlson like 8 years ago where he goes, how does all this end? I go, everyone has to start making fun of the other side and mocking them and not enjoying. And by the way,
and bringing back shame. They might start to feel it a little bit.
Dr. Drew would say to me all during COVID, why do you have to punctuate every one of your tweets with calling people a pussy and a sheep and call them all soft, weak, cowardly pussy sheep? And every time someone would go, I lost my Nana, I'd go, get under the bed, pussy. And Drew was always like, why do you have to do that? I was like, because it's the only thing that makes them fucking stop is the shaming part and the mocking.
Well, they also
part.
see that you're not a soft target, that you're going to.
No one's asked it. Yeah. People haven't asked me to apologize in 9 years. And I say horrible things every day. But I'll tell you how you get them to do it. Mark Garagos' favorite tweet of all time, when I was saying to the school board, look, you guys are either cowards or pussies or you're corrupt. Open the schools. And I just called them, the school board, cowards and pussies and sheep, and told them to open the schools.
Right.
And then they wrote back, Carolla sitting in a $7 million mansion is with his white privilege is like Carolla sitting in a $7 million mansion telling us to go back to work or endanger our kids. And I just wrote back 7.3, which is all I wrote, which is how much the house cost. And I don't know, Mark Garagos was in love with that. I don't know why I love it. You can't go, I have kids too, and I'm a father, and I worry. Fuck off. 7.3, bitch. Now go back to your job.
Right.
It's the only thing that will get him to fucking do it. And that's the phase we're in now. The phase we're in now is mocking all these idiots.
Right. And you notice that battle they had with you didn't last very long. They eventually gave up.
They gave up immediately because the 2 times they tried to shame me, I mocked them.
Right. Right. And it worked.
So they leave you alone because there's nothing. You're a cow with no milk. They're little stray cats wandering around looking for a saucer of milk, and there's no milk on your porch. They keep walking.
Well, a member of the Brazilian Socialist Party has lodged a police report. Alleging racial discrimination.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah.
Proven points.
Yes. Beautiful.
A major Hollywood media outlet is getting some backlash online from top Republicans and conservatives, and I'd say most of the American public, after publishing a column on Friday arguing that Chuck Norris's film legacy is overshadowed by politics.
Yes.
It's a Variety opinion piece. The headline is, go ahead.
Chuck Norris was a great action star, but politically maybe overshadowed his, but politics may overshadow his legacy.
Is that necessary?
No, none of it's necessary, but it is a window into how they think, and they don't really know they think that way. They think of themselves as sort of unbiased reporters, but they give themselves away all the time. It's sort of like women will make a face in the background when someone is saying something, and they'll go like, They can't stop their face from moving in a weird way.
Or they can't stop cheering when they find out that Charlie Kirk was assassinated on TMZ.
Right. And so, on TMZ. That was beautiful. Yeah. So touching. But yes, and so what, they can't stop it. Women have more trouble stopping it. Men are sometimes have a little more composure. But what I'm saying is they are correct in their own head in that if you walked around, right, and you just go, I agree 100% with Mark Ruffalo, right, and I disagree 100% with Chuck Norris, and then Mark Ruffalo dies, then you write an article, it's like, great celebrated actor Mark Ruffalo dead. Now, you don't go, controversial politics.
No.
Those are your politics. It's not controversial. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If there was some action star who loved vintage racing old Datsuns, I'd go, great actor died. I wouldn't go with controversial Datsun racer. No, I like it. That's who I agree with. Right. I agree with the guy. So it's not controversial to them. In their mind, Chuck Norris is controversial because it's controversial to them. And it's the same as when the it's the same with when the news anchors and or the people who pen these opinions, they'll go, and Donald Trump incorrectly claims the election was stolen.
Right.
No, Donald Trump claims the election was stolen. You added incorrectly.
Right.
Because that's what you think.
Well, here's what Variety says deep in the article. An all-American loner has to gun down outsiders who threaten his way of life or go to another country to make sure justice is done. This is what they're saying about Chuck Norris movies. His roles were part of a body of work used to show American strength, might, and pernicious attraction of taking the law into one's own hands, something that seems less fun in a year in which our country is funneling money into bombing Iran and ICE agents are acting like one-man militias. What? Where's this one-man militia ICE story? Where is that? When did that happen?
These guys pull up in primered vans, dressed in sweatpants, wearing masks over their head, and they're grabbing Americans and they're disappearing them in sweatshops in Honduras. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
These guys come pulling up, no law, no training, no uniform. I don't even know. I may just join ICE just on my own. I might just go start knocking on doors, grabbing Mexicans and throwing them out in the porch.
I got a few neighbors I don't like. I'm just going to go shoot them.
There's no badge. There's no identification except for the huge vest they're wearing that says ICE on it.
Right.
But other than that, there's only 17 other forms of identification that are on them. They come walking in. By the way, there's no training. There's no regulation. This is a completely rogue. It's a rogue organization. It's an organization of rogue people. I don't even know how they figure out where to meet. They're so rogue. Everyone's a lone wolf. So how do they even figure out where they're going that day?
The Klan tells them where to go.
The Klan tells them where to go. And they just show up and they just start arresting folk that are just going about their day. Looking for people darker. Probably this lady who did that video over there in, where was that? Spain?
Yeah.
Probably going to get her too. So... by the way, Brazil. No consequences, no hierarchy, nobody to answer to, nothing. Just guys walking around in cutoffs and flip-flops, crawling out of vans and just grabbing random folk and tackling them to the ground. No process, no due process, no warrant, no up, no down, no rhyme, no reason. Just walking around, going to the Whole Foods in Santa Monica, just grabbing red-haired chicks and getting them in a headlock and dragging them out. They're driving a van. They're driving the van, the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. It's not even an ICE van. It's just a custom van George Barris made in the 70s.
It's a shaggin' wagon.
Yeah, man. It says Lovetron on the side, rainbow tape, and there's an airbrushed Viking with his shirt off, and he's riding on a snow puma, and they just come waltzing in nude, grabbing white chicks, many celebrities. The only thing they're wearing is a mask and a smile, and they come grabbing people, and they just round them up, and they stuff them in the van, and they drive across the border to Honduras, and Honduras like, what's going on? They're like, none of your business. Because I'm rogue, babe. I'm a one-man rounding up Mexican machine. And by the way, it don't matter if you have proper documentation. They don't care.
They don't care.
They're gone rogue, kicking open doors, showing up, grabbing folk, and disappearing them into gulags. Okay?
Concentration camps as well.
Concentration logs. Goob camps. So that's what they're doing. You understand? And by the way, could be any of us. It never is.
I could be next.
It never is anybody you know or anybody you've ever heard of or anyone that's ever been on CNN or anyone that could ever fucking report on. Could be. Never is. But it could be us. Well, you could be next.
That nice lady in Minnesota was just trying to drive her car into an ICE agent.
She was asking for directions. By the way, how'd she know who they were? They're all unmarked everything and no badging or anything. She got masks. How'd she know who they are?
That's a good question.
How are they so good at identifying ICE agents if ICE agents don't identify themselves?
Case closed.
Case closed. All right.
Jesus.
What else have we got?
Let's stay in entertainment action
Thank
stars.
you, Dick. What's the name of this douche who wrote this
I got
thing, by the way?
William Earl.
Do they not have editors who go?
William Earl sounds like a good name. Like William Earl and Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Would be at a diner, a weekly appointment at a shitty diner. Mm-hmm. Talking about the fate of America. But no.
All right. So now we got what?
Oh, this is fun. Reacher star Alan Ritchson might have thought he was still shooting an episode of the popular show Reacher. Mm-hmm. Got video of him beating the hell out of a neighbor in Tennessee. Here's what happened. On Saturday, Alan Ritchson was riding his dirt bike down the street, revving, making a lot of noise. One of the neighbors didn't like it, and he flipped him off. Alan Ritchson flips him back off. And then Sunday.
Alan's been in here before.
Nice guy.
Totally nice guy.
Totally nice guy. He comes back on Sunday with his 2 kids on motorbikes.
Next day, and making the noise again. And apparently the neighbor said, "Can you effing stop this, please?" And then that's when things turn physical. Oh, and someone's filming it out the window. Mm-hmm. Oh, the guy's laying on the ground.
Beating the guy up.
The guy's crawling around. The guy,
and he
kind of, what's he doing?
Is he giving up? Is he going back to Reacher?
He dumped his bike. His kids are sitting there. Is he on a...
It's a Kawasaki.
Oh, the bike's running. Oh, that's the worst part. That's what you don't want in court. It looks like a street bike and not a dirt bike. And he dumped it.
Yeah, it does look like a street bike.
He dropped it and he let it run. But there's another dirt bike back there. So who the fuck's on the dirt bike? And the concerned neighbor who just got pummeled is on his feet, man, still talking shit. And by the way, he screwed his bike up. His kids.
And then his kids falling, but yeah.
So his bike is laid down the street and it's running right now. And it's in gear, it looks like. Not looks like, but it behaves like.
Yes.
And the throttle's turning the rear wheel. And so when he pulls it up, which, by the way, that meant he just dumped that bike and started pummeling that guy.
He didn't put his kickstand down. He didn't
kick it to neutral. He didn't do it. And he just dumped it and started punching that dude. Wow. I
like the guy. He's a nice guy, but that's a strange. There's got to be something more to this.
Yeah, that's
you don't just go batshit crazy with 2 of your kids behind you. I don't know.
Maybe a little roid rage in there.
I don't know.
There's also going to be. I mean, that's a settled for an undisclosed amount.
Sure.
I mean, you put Garrigus on this case. He's going to get that guy to pay.
And apparently, it looks like, if I'm seeing this correctly, it looks like the neighbor who got beat up lives in the house across the street. This is another neighbor filming this, I believe.
Oh, right. This is another neighbor from the other side filming this. And it's always funny. You know, it's funny. Well, also, it's weird because there is a dirt bike on a kickstand for adults on the other side of the street. So it's kind of like somebody else went out there and rode some wheelies. But keep it going. So he picks up his Kawasaki street bike. His kids are on street bikes, by the way. Mm-hmm. And so these bikes are street legal, which is a little different than being on a dirt bike going up and down the street. Because that's illegal. And this thing... Yeah. All right. So he's on a rice rocket, essentially. I don't know if we can say that.
Yeah,
anymore.
Actually, the story says motorbikes. What I read was dirt bikes. Anytime I see a motorbike, I think motorbikes.
Yeah, you said dirt bike. So it changes the context of it a little.
Okay,
so
here's the...
If you're... Okay, if you are going up and down your residential street on a 2-stroke Honda 250 dirt bike, then neighbors sort of have the claim to go, hey man, I'm going to call the cops because this guy's riding wheelies and making noise and there's soot fire. You know, like a 2-stroke dirt bike, it's a little nasty for the street, but he's on a street bike. So you don't really have the claim on a street bike. You can still go. The guy's just going up and down and throwing revs and annoying everybody.
Right.
And also, I don't know what the legalities of. There's no more laws involving kids in motorized bikes or motorcycles. When I was a kid, was one big you're going to get busted if you take that mini bike out on the street. Now I see whole gangs of mini bikes going by. I see kids on electric bikes going down the sidewalk at 40 miles an hour. There's guys on scooters, like everything with two wheels. Every kid's on it. No one's getting a ticket. But his kids are on street bikes, mini street bikes. By the way, if my dad ever said to me, hey, this neighbor's being a son of a bitch, grab your bike and let's go throw some revs, I'd be like, hey, Dad, you never bought me a bike, and you don't have one either. So go back to the sofa. Yeah, so there's going to be some suing going on.
There's going to be some suing going on. The way the law works in this is the famous person pays.
Yes.
And the video is going to enforce that. Now is a good time to say that Reacher, Season 1, Episode 5, one of my songs, City of Angels, is in that episode, Season 1, Episode 5.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
go
right.
Go back and watch that.
Yeah, I should ask Santora what he thinks of this. All right. Let's do one more.
All right. Well, just over 83 years ago, Franklin Roosevelt called the Imperial Japanese Navy's December 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor a date that will live in infamy. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, President Donald Trump turned it into a punchline.
Ah, that's so good. Let's play it.
Very hard. And we didn't tell anybody about it.
Start from the top.
We wanted surprise. We went in very hard, and we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay? Why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay? Right? You know, he's asking me, no, you believe in surprise, I think much more so than us. And
all right, hold on. You have to hear the part. We don't need it, but you have to hear the part where the guy who asked him the question is in Japanese, like sort of broken English. Mm-hmm. The guy who asked him the question is Japanese. Okay. That's the part that really makes it funny because it's not like he's talking to the prime minister. He's talking to a reporter, but the reporter asked the question in a sort of staccato Japanese.
That's a little more context.
That's a little more context. That's why he's going, why didn't you tell us this? Great. So look, if you want to know the difference between Trump and Obama, Trump makes a Pearl Harbor joke. He's dead nuts on. And Obama goes to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and apologizes for us dropping a bomb on the people that started the fucking war and raped everybody and enslaved everybody and tortured everyone to death. And we would have wasted another 400,000 souls trying to invade their mainland, and we would have killed 2 million of them. Obama thinks it's a good idea to apologize to them. That's it. And Trump thinks it's a good idea to make fun of them. And though that's all you need to know, kids. Mm-hmm. Obama goes in there, puts his fucking tail between his legs, does one of those, I love this country, but bullshit. You've never said anything good about this country ever, neither's your fucking wife. So you go over there and beg for forgiveness, and Trump makes a joke about a surprise attack, and that's the difference, and that's where the mocking comes in versus the apologizing.
There's never been a greater time to love your country.
All right. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, Norfolk, Nebraska, District Center. Early show Friday, sold out. I don't know, maybe some still for left. And then Sunday, Lincoln, Nebraska, 2 shows there. Late show, or the 7 o'clock show, sold out. So we had a 4 o'clock show. You can just go to adamcarolla.com for all the info. Until next time, Sam for Dawson and Pete Holmes saying mahalo. I know you're into, I don't know, what we call them, conspiracy theories? I don't know.
Coincidence theories.
Coincidence theories. I got to tell you, I would say if you asked me pre-COVID about any of these things, I'd be like, no. Mm-hmm. After COVID, I'm like, okay, all right. I'm much closer to the tinfoil hat wearing. I tell people I don't have a tinfoil hat, it's a tinfoil yarmulke. It's not as big as a hat, but it's still made out of foil and it's still in my head. And now I'm just starting to realize everything seems to be about money. Everything's just like follow the money. Like everything ends up just being money.
Money and control.
In control.
People in power they spend all their time doing things that will keep their power. No one wants to lose their power. So whatever it takes to keep the power, it's just the human condition. And it seems like this world is run by evil forces. It doesn't seem like good people are in control of the world. It seems like it's evil.
I'm always trying to sort of negotiate that in my head. Like when I sort of think about politicians and people, like, is George Soros evil, or does he just have a way of looking at life that's sort of different than I might look at life? Or even like Gavin Newsom, like he's been in here, I've interviewed him. He has a 10-cent head, and he's kind of a sociopath, but is he bad? Like, is he evil, or does he just have a bunch of fucking ideas that end up causing very negative outcomes, because at a certain point, people get killed with shit policy, but I can't figure out like what's the end game? Like, because they end up kissing their kids goodnight every night. They're family oriented and they like music. And what is it? Who is evil? Like, who are we talking about here? And there's people that, people on the left think Trump is evil. And then people on the right think Obama's evil. But are they evil? Like, everyone has kids and wants to drink a glass of wine and watch a sitcom like at night. Like, What is it?
I think it's just a combination of a couple things. Keeping your power, money. There could be a lot of, compromising going on and blackmailing going on. That's how you can take a good guy who loves his family, loves his kids, but man, he got caught in some stuff and now he's got shit on him and now he's got to fucking listen to what they say. That's generally how, you would run an organization that was built on acquiring as much power as possible. Just like you take it down to street level, that's how gangs run. Gangs. Like if you want to join a gang, in a general sense, you're going to have to do something really bad that they have something on you. Like if you kill someone and they see that you got a body on you now, they could trust you now. Mm-hmm. They know because you got a body. And what are you going to do? You're going to tell on us? You got a body. So I think there's a lot of that. It's just mafia stuff, like mafia tactics. I think like the way the cartel runs in Mexico and in the United States too, I think there's a bigger cartel that is using the same style of tactics.
So you think of like the Obamas, and you just go, what's going on? Like, they have money, they have power, they have influence. But the weird thing about a lot of these people is I never hear them saying certain things. Like, it'd be great if both Obamas just said, listen, we're not living in a racist country. Now everyone get the fuck to work. It's fine. It's an even playing field. Like, let's all do this. You don't have to worry about that. But they never do. It's always just sort of hustle. Like, it's always the same conversation I hear from them.
Yeah, but it's the people that are in power. There's a reason why they're in power. They have a job to do. And if they didn't want to do the job, they would not be in power. So the people with the power in this world, they're really smart. They know how to manipulate the masses with psyops. There's psyops going on all the time. And the news is basically just propaganda.
Well, yeah. I mean, take something like COVID. Like, I knew something was going on. So I knew something was wrong with COVID super early.
Yeah.
And I pointed it out and I got vocal about it. Mm-hmm. And it struck me that there was a pattern and the pattern was sort of interrupted and I knew something was missing. Like for me, like I'm pattern oriented, and I wasn't hearing the ages of the deaths, and they were keeping the ages out of the news, and it bothered me and it bumped me, and so I would start talking about it, and so I caught on early that this was something, and then it was like lab leak versus wet market and all this stuff, and also it's interesting. It's all stuff I was yelling into the microphone about, but whenever there's a pandemic or something like AIDS, they always go to Africa, because what I'm saying is AIDS is relatively bad in the United States, but it's horrible in Africa. Right? Like everything's always worse in Africa. So they always go to Africa if there's something going wrong.
I mean, it all depends on what you think AIDS is.
Oh, well, now we're getting really deep. But I'm just going to say, I didn't hear any COVID talk out of Africa. There was no discussion. There was what's going on in Spain, what's going on in Italy.
And the presidents in the countries in Africa that opposed the COVID mandates, they got killed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear.
I think that was 3 of them. They got killed. They were against it.
They weren't. So I didn't hear any horror stories about Africa. And then I realized it's because they're all young. It's because they're all fit. Like they're not heavy. They're not old, and a lot of them are on hydroxychloroquine. So they're on something already, and they're young, and they're fit, and that's why it's not decimating that population. But I had things that were like indicators to me that made me think this is bullshit, or what's going on. Now, I don't know, was it all just about an election year? Like, what was pushing COVID? Like, and how did all the news agencies get bought in and corrupted? Is that all pharmaceuticals?
I don't know for sure. I wasn't in the meetings, but it's obvious that a lot of countries were working together on this. They were in lockstep. There was a plan. And they were talking about it, like people deep in the rabbit holes, myself included. I mean, we saw this coming before. We're like, damn, are they going to do a pandemic? Are they going to do a pandemic? They're going to do it. Check this out. They already started in Wuhan. They're going to do a pandemic. Like a fake one. I think it was all fake. I don't think I think it was just the flu. People that had the exact same symptoms. It was the exact same thing. And I think it was all fake. They just hijacked the flu. And because if this was real, jiu-jitsu would have been wiped out. We were the opposite of social distancing, and we never stopped. I have over 200 schools worldwide. We didn't have one person dying, and we're doing the opposite of what they told us to do. We're sweating and dripping every 8 minutes, a new man. And a new dude, just sweating, not just getting close, but squeezing as hard as you can, and not one death. And I mentioned that to Dr. Peter McCullough. He's like, super anti the jab, but he thinks it was like a real thing. And I asked him,
what was a real thing?
He thinks COVID was real. And so I asked him on Alex Jones' show, I go, then why didn't nobody in jiu-jitsu, nobody in the UFC, nobody in NFL, nobody in any sport, how come nobody in jiu-jitsu, how come nobody in my schools died? And we did the opposite. And he said, because you developed immunity. I go, if that's true, then why didn't the beginners die? The beginner should have died.
Yeah. Well,
so you sign up for jiu-jitsu, and then you're immune. Why didn't they just tell everybody, sign up for jiu-jitsu? As soon as you sign, you're immune. Nobody died.
It never affected young and healthy and strong people.
The flu kills the flu kills people. Old people that have 4 comorbidities.
Right.
And that's what they found. At the end of the day, they found it, and then nobody died of the flu for 2 years.
Right.
Come on.
No,
then the PCR tests are bullshit. They're not checking for viruses. It was all bullshit. The guy who invented the PCR test, he said it was bullshit. He said Dr. Fauci's full of shit. He said it was all bullshit. The tests were bullshit. Like, you got COVID and you weren't even sick. They go, oh, you got COVID. I'm like, I guess I got COVID, but I'm not even sick.
So did we just mobilize so you go, so then what happened? So you go, all right, so somebody comes up with the phrase Black Lives Matter, and then the next thing you know, Kmart has an aisle dedicated to Black Lives Matter because they're just mobilizing. They're just doing what they do. The people who make masks. I I was leaving a hotel this morning. I looked down and I saw that round sticker that said safe distance or stand here or whatever. That's fucking bullshit. I know, but it's good business for the people who print those things and make those stickers. And it's a good business for the mask people, and it's good business for Purell, and it's good business for CNN. Like, is everyone else just following in on the business side of it?
Yeah, that's definitely happening. But I think the people with the power, call them whatever you want, the elite, Illuminati, deep state, whatever you want to call them, it doesn't matter. The people running this shit, they're not part of a country. They're part of the whole world, and they're all working together. And it's probably, I'm pretty sure, I wouldn't, if you had them all in one big room, I'm pretty sure international bankers will be in there. You know, I'm pretty sure like whoever owns like the biggest media companies and newspaper publications, like the biggest, like the big ones, I'm sure they'll be in that room.
So is this sort of like climate change, and that there's just tons of people who profit from this shit?
It's all bullshit. Yeah,
I know it's all bullshit, but there's just so much money. It's so much money. Like, you take a look, you take something like climate change and you go, okay, that's trillions and trillions of dollars. Nothing ever comes out the other end. It's basically the end, you know, the that non-governmental
tax. They wanted the carbon tax.
Right.
Oh, that was, that got us closer to world government. The ultimate goal, and it's always been this. Even back in Roman times, the ultimate goal was one world government.
Right. They're always pushing for this, like the Paris climate summit and stuff. The Accord. We're all going to join the UN. We're all going to join the Paris climate summit. Like, we're all going to join. And
like, they really care. Right. Oh, they care so much. Why the hell are you guys spraying chemtrails everywhere? You claim it. That's the real climate change. The climate change, they're causing it.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, they fly privately to Davos and do the fucking big climate change thing and all this. Yeah, I know, but it's kind of on us as citizens, because when I started mouthing off about COVID super early on, everyone just attacked me, and I'm like, you fucking pussies, you fucking cowards, what the fuck are you attacking me for? I'm trying to spread a little truth around here, and you're all coming at me. And by the way, you don't work for Pfizer or Upjohn. You're just a citizen, and you're using your voice to attack another citizen who happens to be truthful about this, and I'm speaking up about it.
They're defending Big Pharma. It's unbelievable.
Fucking It's like, it's pathetic. By the way, people want to know, and I'm online calling these people cowards and pussies every 10 minutes. Fuck you. You deserve everything you get, you fucking cowards.
Yeah.
You did this. And if you don't want to do it, then fucking apologize and shut up when the next thing comes down the pike. Sit it out, fucking know-it-all.
Yeah.
But you fucking cowards and pussies, you caved to this because you were scared. Not of COVID, you're scared of the mob.
Yeah.
They all were scared of the fucking mob.
Yeah.
And the big, I had Newsweek writing an article about me and shit like that. They're fucking cowards. They're all wrong. They never retract anything. They were wrong about everything. But I don't know if they're just wrong or they're just lying, or whether they attacked Joe Rogan about horse paste or whatever the fuck that is.
They're all working together. They're all working. It's like the mafia. It really is.
Right, but you'll just cash out your dignity for nothing? Like Sanjay Gupta, you just fucking cash your reputation, your dignity for nothing, for a couple of bucks, a fucking paycheck from CNN. It's sad.
He got eviscerated, though, on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Well, he should have.
That was incredible.
Well, first off, when you're lying, it's really hard to wiggle your way out of it. You know what I mean? When you're just fucking lying. And that's all he did, and that's all CNN did. And that's all Newsweek did, to me. They're fucking attacking me. I told everyone I sent a tweet out pretty early saying, look, the only people dying of this thing are old people and sick people, and the rest of you...
Just like the flu.
Rest of you pussies got played.
Just like the flu.
And everyone fucking turned on me.
All they did is put the flu on the bench, and they took over, and they made up some new shit. And all that... In my opinion, all that gain of function research thing at these virology labs and go, oh, look, they created. I'm like, in my opinion, they didn't create shit. if they could create, if they did, oh man, what a terrible job you did. You got the same numbers as the flu. You go, what a terrible job.
Right.
What a terrible job you did. But to me, they're just, in my opinion, I think all those emails and all that stuff, or the money's just being stolen. They're not actually working on trying to create a virus that could kill a bunch. They want people to believe that they're doing that. They want it. That's why they push it now. Now they go, because in the beginning, they wanted everyone arguing between what did it come from, a bat, or did it come from an evil scientist? Some people say, oh, it came from an evil scientist. Look, there's money going to virology labs. And then they go, no, we got to really believe that it came from a bat. They wanted you to argue because both of them basically imply that it's real.
Right.
It's real, and that you're going to need the vaccine. So whatever one you believe, you're going to need the vaccine. Instead of, dude, it's just the flu.
Yeah, listen. The
homeless would have been wiped out. They say the homeless would have been. They go, why didn't the homeless get wiped out? Oh, because, again, like the jiu-jitsu thing, because they're immune. Go, wait a minute. So you either wash your hands 10 times a day, or you don't wash at all, and you'll be fine. That doesn't make any sense.
I know.
That doesn't make any sense. The homeless would have been wiped the fuck out. They would have been the first to go, and jiu-jitsu would have gone. If I would have had 2 people die of COVID on me, I would have quit.
Right.
I'd say, oh shit, this is real.
Right.
But it's not real. Nobody died. Not one person.
No, not one healthy person.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was sweating on each other and smashing each other.
Listen.
we would have all been dead if that was real.